What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to start on our sanding part of the prep for the paint. It's not going to be a real lot of talking, but there will be a lot of time lapses as we got a sander now, and we're going to work on these pieces. So enjoy. Welcome back to day 2, guys. This is going to be the second day of sanding as part of the prep for paint. As you can see yesterday behind me, we got a lot of the red stuff done. Over here, we got a lot of the red stuff done. Now we're going to work on the black stuff, which there's a lot of that stuff to do. And those are only plastics, so we're just start out trying to wet sand just to get them kind of roughed up. We're going to try some 320 with some water and see how that goes.
One eternity later.
Alright, I think I got all the sanding done except for 1 or 2 little paint chips that I found. I got the saddlebags done, I got all the plastic done. You see them over here, they're drying. Some are drying in front of the fan. That was so much easier than that stuff I was doing yesterday. Sorry I look funny, my music is playing. So yeah, I got a couple little paint chips I gotta fix that I found yesterday. I guess we'll film that since there's not a whole lot of content. And I gotta get some bondo still to fix one little dent. I've had thousands of ideas how to fix it, but no real solution, so I guess I'm just gonna buy some bondo. So yeah, let me swap these pieces out and then we'll sand that little paint chip out of this. I think it's on the gas tank and then one on the fender. This is not the piece I was thinking of, but it does have a small scratch right there, so we're gonna wet sand that out real quick. And if anybody's wondering, I am wet sanding with 320. It's not really the wet sand paper, but it's working perfectly. Alright, we was able to get that out. It was right down on the side. I don't know what that looked like, a little fine scratch, probably when I was doing the front tire upgrade. Let me see if I can find the other piece. I found it. Here's the dent that I need to fix. That's when I dropped it on that one video. I'll link it up here if anybody want to watch me crash it. When I went to pick it up, I put my knee into it and it dented it. There's one little ding right there if anybody wants to see that. Let's see. Alright, at the tip of that water spot, you can barely see that. That's what we're going to wet sand out. Alright guys, and I was able to get that out. Just a small little ding in the actual graphic that's underneath there. It was actually just into that layer, so I was able to sand it down to the secondary coat, which this thing was silver originally, and somebody painted the flames with an airbrush, and then they went back with this maroon red flake looking clear kind of. So yeah, that's what we're sanding through, is just a clear coat. So yeah, That is ding free. Well, except for that one little spot. Alright, we found another piece that needs some attention. The rear fender has a little ding right there, which I know nobody's ever going to see that because that's covered up. And apparently I went a little heavy on my lowering when I rode somebody because it dinged my fender right there. That's where the caliper's at. And when I had it lowered, I think I had too much weight on it and it binged into my caliper. So I think I'm going to take the sander to that one, see if I can't grind that down pretty flat. And then I might put some bondo on it, I guess. So yeah, let me hit those two areas real quick. What is up, fam? Welcome back to the garage. This will be another portion of the sanding video. Today we got the bondo for the gas tank for the one little dent. And I think there was one other little dent on something. Or not like a dent, more like a deep kind of scratch. Yeah, we picked up the bondo and we got the spreader pads for the bondo. Now I was going to get the bondo in the little tubes they have. It's like an 8-ounce tube. It was like $10. But this is like $12. And if I ever need any extra, I have some. See, that's why I got this. And it does have the hardener with it in the cap there, as you can see. So yeah, we'll find a piece of cardboard or something to mix this up on and we'll spread it on the tank. As you can probably see, I already kind of roughed up that spot so the bondo has something to grab onto. Let me find some cardboard real quick. Alright, first your hardener will be underneath the cap. A little cream hardener here. If it doesn't have that with this, you need to get that because this is not activated until you put this in. So let's see here. Then it comes with a little bit of instructions. You'll need a screwdriver to open the can with, which I have a opener for a paint can here somewhere. And a little opener here. You can use a flat tip screwdriver as well. Work your way around the edges. It should pop right open. And it's got like an icing consistency. That's what we're gonna have to deal with. Now I'm gonna find something to scoop it out with. I'm just gonna pour it out and I don't have anything to scoop it with. I'm gonna go with about maybe a golf ball size amount, maybe less. Try to get some of this back in this can so I don't waste it. And keep your lid on there so it will dry out so you can use it next time. You can use any kind of like putty spreader, but these things here, they're relatively cheap. I think I paid $2 for these. Now we're probably gonna use the smaller one on this dent because it's a really small dent. So put the rest of these other ones up for some other time. We're going to use this to mix it up with too. So. And as far as the hardener goes, you kind of want to use, it depends on how much you use, depends on how hot it is outside. Right now it's about 55 where I'm at, so we're going to use a little bit extra. We'll go with about that. You can add as much as you want, this is going to harden a lot faster. You add a little bit, it'll give you a little more time to work with it. You want all that bondo mixed up with the hardener. I know it's not the prettiest, but it is what it is. Alright kids, we're gonna go with that. This has been like my first time, but this is like my first time bondoing in like, I can't tell you how many years. At least, I don't know, 20 years? I used to do it with Dad all the time when I was little. He used to make me mix it and sand it, spread it. Now I can't tell you the last time I touched it, so. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with this repair for now. We'll let that set up for an hour or so, and then we'll sand it down nice and smooth. And then everything will be ready for paint, if I ever get the paint. So yeah, let this set up. And don't worry if you have excess on the scrapers, because when it hardens, you can just bend the scraper, like flex it a little bit, and it'll snap off. See you in about an hour. All right, and just like that, it is dry, folks. All right, so now we're gonna knock it down with a little bit of sandpaper. So now we're gonna knock it down with some sandpaper because it does have some pretty high spots on it that we don't need. Probably start out with something kind of rough like 60 grit or somewhere in that range. Then we'll slowly work up, to 220 or ending up at 320, which this finish, this smoothness already is. So that's what we're going for. So we're gonna give you a little time lapse of sanding. This is probably going to be the last little bit of sanding of this video, and the next video series should be video 3. Whenever I get it, will be the paint. So yeah, looking forward to that a lot. Enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, as you can see, we got it all fixed up guys. Finally that dent is done. Now we can move on to paint. So that's going to end the sanding series 2 video. Everything is ready to paint. We just got to wait on paint, so yeah. It's probably going to be a few weeks on that, so everything is just going to sit. I might primer a few things just in the meantime so it doesn't rust. I know we had a couple spots go through the metal, like right there, and a couple other little spots. We might just do some self-etching primer on those areas just so we don't get any rust. So I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to go down and hit that subscribe and turn the bell on so you'll notify when I get that third video up. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video guys.